everyone. I'm Steph Beckett, and we are here at NAB Show 2025. This is a little bit of a different kind of interview that I'm usually doing. This is nice. This is relaxing. And I'm here at the lovely Datavideo booth, joined by Rob Reed and Craig Moffat. First of all, how is it going, you guys? How has NAB treated you?
Well, I'll start, I guess. I think we're a little surprised how much interest there is in this application. We came from this show. This is our roots is NAB. So we're used to coming to the show, but we're getting smaller and smaller at this footprint at NAB and expanding at InfoComm because we see that's where all the opportunities are for Datavideo going forward.
Yeah.
But when we come here, people know us, and there's a lot of interest in wanting to do automation.
Yes.
So we're kind of bringing, we always say we're bringing broadcast to AV, but in this case, we're bringing AV to broadcast.
Right.
So it's kind of a weird combination. So, but we're very busy. What do you think, Rob?
Yeah, I think the key word is kind of automation and people wanting to do more with less.
Yeah.
And so being able to, integrate automation into production, live production, really is a helpful tool that actually people are looking for at this show. They're content creators and they want to do with more with less. And so we have a unique solution like here in our studio where we're automating this podcast interview with you.
Yeah, let's talk about the technology that we're using to do this really quick. So tell me a little bit about how this is working, how this is knowing that I'm talking, and so it knows to shift it to a one-up of me. Let's talk about this.
Yeah, so the key product is a product called VoiceTRX, and what it is, it's a logic processor. So it's dealing with audio systems. Mm-hmm. So this logic processor is communicating with APIs of audio systems, whether it's a ceiling array microphone, or whether it's an audio processor, or whether it's even like a conferencing style microphone. That API is sending data to this box called the VoiceTRX. The VoiceTRX then communicates with our PDZ cameras, and it communicates with our switchers. So it'll move when it detects that someone's speaking at in a certain area of a room. The camera will move into the position. The camera then focuses, makes sure everything's okay, sends a message back to the VoiceTRX. The VoiceTRX then does a clean switch to the person talking. So that's what you see what's happening here.
I love that we're actually using it in the interview too, because I feel like that is so much better for the people watching because they want to know how it works. It's one thing for us to talk about what this technology is, but it's another one to literally show them how it's working. It's so cool. My next question is, what pain point and specifically were you trying to solve when you developed VoiceTRX? Was it kind of just that people, we don't have a ton of camera operators that are looking for work right now? What were you seeing in the market that made you want to develop this?
Yeah, so the main thing really, we started coming out with AI tracking cameras, right?
Yeah.
So, the ability to control AI tracking cameras, turn it on, have it track someone around a room. Mm-hmm. Everyone's like, man, your technology is so great. What would be really cool is if you could actually do tracking based on where someone's speaking at in a room. And we're not the first to do it, but we thought, now this is a really good idea, and it is a pain point because what happens a lot in city council meetings or just any type of conferencing application, there's not enough operators to go around to fill all these rooms to actually switch, recall camera presets, do all that kind of stuff. So that was kind of where the pain point came from. And we thought about, let's come up with a solution where we can automate this and make it a broadcast experience in a conferencing application.
Yeah, the original idea for VoiceTRX was more for conferencing.
Yeah.
And so we, obviously for InfoComm, we're going to show the same solution, but in a different application. And so what we're doing here at NAB, we wanted to show VoiceTRX at NAB, so what are we going to do? We have to figure out something that's going to fit this market, podcast.
Yeah.
And that's why we designed this podcast room. But so many other people have come to us today and yesterday, wow, I could use it for this application and this application. And so their minds are going off about how to automate a production like this for house of worship, for other verticals that we deal with that I never thought we could really go to. So
the pain point of there's just not a lot of, there's just not as many camera operators as there used to be. Makes a lot of sense. But it's also the fact that the number of people wanting to stream or needing to stream, that has grown exponentially since COVID-19. So it's not only like there's just not a ton of, those people everywhere looking for work. It's that this number hasn't matched. Like the number of camera operators and production people, I think that grows at about 3% per year. But the number of people wanting to stream is growing at like 3 times that. So of course we're looking for automating products because that number, there's just no way for those numbers to match up.
Yeah, 100%. And we definitely saw a real growth during COVID-19 where everything was shut down and people needed to stream, get their content online, and really have an experience to make the people that are watching online feel like they're a part of the experience that's happening in the room. So, they couldn't have a lot of people in the room during COVID-19.
Yeah, that's a great point.
We sold, one of our number one selling solutions was a single operator solution where the camera control, the video switching, the streaming and recording was all built into one unit.
Yes, I remember this.
And so that really gave us the idea of people are wanting to do more with less. And so this whole concept of automating a production now is, we're in a situation where we can realize that.
Another great thing about you guys is you have a really wonderful user interface for all of your products because you recognize that the people actually using it, they're not high-level technologists all of the time. They're just everyday people. So you have really, really advanced technology, but it is incredibly easy to set up and use.
Yeah, I think that's partly where it came from. Most of our market in the past have been, like during COVID-19, was the house of worship market.
Yes.
Probably 80% of our business.
We were talking about this.
And so they're all volunteers. And so they're not from the broadcast world where they make a living switching or doing video production. They're there once a week and they don't have a lot of training. It has to visually be so easy to use that they can just pick it up quickly and go. So we've learned from that, and we're trying to bring that to all our AV solutions now, to just have touch panels or now automation to where it's just so simple to use that once it's set up by an integrator, you don't have to touch it. You just leave these things on 24/7, and you come in and want to do your podcast, you want to do your conference, you want to do whatever, it's already set up, ready to go.
Yeah. Well, as a company that kind of has one foot in AV and one foot in broadcast, I'm interested to see, what are you seeing in these two markets and where you see the future convergence going?
Well, I really feel like the conference experience, especially with COVID-19 and people working from home, there was a lack of feeling or empathy that I'm in this room and I'm in this experience.
Yeah.
So everyone's like, I really need to, to have engagement, I need to feel like I'm in the room. And so that's where you saw these, more automated solutions, better camera tracking, that kind of thing to make, whether you're an online student or whether you're part of a large organization and you have your all hands meetings together, it's like you wanted to make people feel together. And so we're really seeing where the end customer is demanding better, easier tools. And that's where I see it going. And Craig really hit the nail on the head where really we experienced that during COVID-19 where we created these tools where volunteers, anybody could operate it. And now we want, like he mentioned, we want to create a tool where people can just walk in and it's automated. One of the applications, interestingly enough, that I've been working on with one of our integrators, and we just got the order for VoiceTRX, was to set up a podcast in a library. So think about it. A library is not just about loaning out books and materials. You can go in there and use internet. You can help apply for jobs. You can do. So they actually they're setting up a podcast experience where I can't afford all this equipment in my home, but I have this podcasting idea. I want to walk in there and record it. So we're automating it with VoiceTRX. So all I have to do, hit the record button, and we've built in some other tools with our broadcast switcher. We're not going to show it to you today, where we can integrate titles, splash screens. And the cool thing about VoiceTRX is we can add it to existing podcasting facilities as well. You don't have to change a bunch of your equipment over. we're able to actually integrate with these type of microphones as well through another audio processor that will have an announcement soon.
Nice.
And so, you can just put this processor in there, take your existing microphones, and now automate a podcast in a library.
Yeah, we're actually using, in this case, this particular 8x8 room, it's not very big. We just have a ceiling mic, and it's a ceiling array mic. And, we work with all different manufacturers with your ceiling array mics. And it's just taking positional data, knowing where we're sitting in the room, and that's it. Or you could use this, like Rob was saying, you could use either way. But in some cases, this is an advantage. In some cases, this would be an advantage. So it just depends on the application.
And you can pick. You can use either. So from what that you can tell me so far, what is on the horizon? What's next for Datavideo? Sorry.
We're both looking at each other like, what should we say? Because, InfoComm is around the corner.
Right.
And to me, that's probably our biggest opportunity for VoiceTRX. So we're really going to showcase VoiceTRX100 at that show. Probably going to show a lot more NDI opportunities on how to switch. We're using NDI. We're going to have more windowing options.
Very
so
cool.
if you want to have side-by-side and maybe see the whole room at the same time, all on the screen at the same time. Similar to one of our competitors is doing that now.
Okay.
Starts with the C. But anyway, they basically are, a lot more programming involved, a lot more cost involved. So I think we're probably positioned in a way where we can design a room similar to that at a much better price point and a lot less programming.
Right.
So.
The other thing that we're looking at and enhancing what Craig was saying about our roadmap, but we are looking also to integrate more with conferencing style microphones. So for example, your city council, you have your agenda, then you have your speaker list, then you have, in some instances, some municipalities require you to ID speakers. So think of it integrating with a push to talk or a voting style conferencing type microphone. We can take that data from that conferencing microphone, we've already proven it, and we're going to add that to VoiceTRX. So if you want to display your voting results on the far end, you can when you record. Or let's say, for example, some of them have RFID tap in. So I sit at a different seat, I tap in my card. When I speak from that speaking position, it'll actually ID me with a lower third graphic.
Cool.
So that's, again, bringing more of a broadcasting experience to a conferencing or city council type application.
Neat. That's awesome. Well, last question I have for you guys, where can people find more information about Datavideo?
Well, we work with Datavideo.com is our website. Of course, we have a solutions section there that will show different applications and workflows. We just show them in our solutions section.
Yeah.
In the U.S., we work with manufacturers reps, and so we work directly with integrators directly. That's how we do it, our channel. And so we have reps throughout the country, and they kind of will have their own experience in their own office. We put VoiceTRX in every one of their offices, and so they can call up one of their customers and say, hey, they don't have to call our office in California. They can do it from their office in Tennessee or whatever.
Works.
So that's really to me, that's how we're going to grow this and get this message out. It's a relationship game, and that's how we're going to do it.
Nice. All right. Well, thank you both so much for your time, and congratulations on a successful NAB, and I will see you both at InfoComm. I'm looking forward to it.
Looking forward to that. Thank you.
And don't forget, on our side as well, you can go to ravepubs.com/NAB show for all your NAB 2025 news. And we'll see you next time. Bye.